Hello everybody and welcome to Thinkers. Today is Tuesday, October 13th, and the topic of the day is clearly, let's get right to the point. Nancy Pelosi needs to be fired. Let's get right to the content. Basically, for the people that's on unemployment that really needs the money, just like Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank stated that, he wasn't totally with the stimulus, $1,200, but as far as the unemployment, people need the unemployment. The government assistance from the with the PUA and such, and regular unemployment, people need that. And the fact that they have to keep waiting for it, there's a problem. My point is this: Nancy, at first I was with everything because she's with, $600 for the unemployed people. And I'm really sticking it out for my unemployed people. Oh, $600. But the fact that she just refuses to come down from $600 is just, it just makes matters. It makes me look at her from a whole different perspective. Again, when she was rooting for the $600, and then the government, or the president put in the executive order for the $300. Basically, what happened was the people on unemployed actually lost money because it was less than what it should be. Point being this: the Republicans went as far as they went to $450 for 8 weeks, and then up to $600 for the additional 5 weeks. She still said no. There's no compromise with this person. All she does is just wants things the way that she wants them. And that doesn't reflect the American people. So what happens is, though, people might end up turning around and turning Republican. And they might go from Democrat to Republican of this situation. She's trying to halt up Donald Trump and make sure that he doesn't get reelected and such. But in the meantime, you're making yourself look bad, and you're making the Democratic Party look bad. You're making them look so bad that Democratic people are turning against you. So the fact of the matter is, my conclusion is, I think Nancy Pelosi needs to be fired. She just needs to be fired. Can she be fired? Absolutely not. But it still doesn't change the fact that if people chime in and everybody says the same thing, one of the old sayings, if everybody's saying the same thing, it must be true. She offers no compromise. She's went down on no numbers, and there's no reason to sit here and talk about, she started at $3 trillion and now she's at 2.2. She's been at 2.2 for I don't know how long. And the Republican Party stepped up, and then they made changes and adjustments as far as their needs and what they wanted. I understand money for states and local governments and such. And the fact of the matter is, money for states and local governments, if they don't get them from the Fed, then they'll probably get them from the American people, and we'll have to pay, usually through property taxes. That's what they do. But guess what? Out of all the trillions of dollars, inflation is going to happen anyway. It's inevitable. Inflation is going to happen due to the fact that when people get Social Security checks and things that recur every year per se, and they change the cost, it's called cost of living, it rises, it's going to be inflated anyway. And as far as all these trillions of dollars, there's going to be inflation anyway. He who has the gold makes the rules. He who has the product, then the product goes up in value. He who has the money, money goes down in value because it takes more money to buy the product. People with the product, they win. People with the money, not necessarily lose, but they don't gain as much. And another thing, we have to really actually take into consideration that it's maybe 14 million people that's on a moratorium as far as the eviction, and so there's landlords that's not being paid, there's renters that's not paying. And I don't fault the renters for not paying, because if they're not getting their unemployment, then what are they going to pay with? This is a vicious cycle and a vicious thing that's just going to just tear up. It's just going to just flatline. And it just amazes me that not just Republican and Democrats, but it just amazes me how long we've been playing this game on this second stimulus. We've been playing this game for months on top of months. Now you all think that people can't count, can't calculate, and that people not paying attention. For example, of course, the virus, I won't call it by its name. Let's just call it the virus. Of course, it went down for the last 30 days because they slowed down testing. So when you slow down testing, then it goes down. They ramped it back up. And when they ramp it back up, then the percentage goes back up. They control it. And they're doing it right in front of our eyes. There's no arithmetic or no special math to this. It's very simple and it's right in your face. Like the trillions and trillions of dollars that was stolen. Oh, you think it wasn't stolen? Why is it 300+ billion sitting over there just still sitting? And why is it 130 billion, whatever, in the EIDL just sitting? Why is all this money just sitting? What purpose does it serve just sitting? It frustrates me to the point that the rich people and wealthy people who do 4 hours of work and then they got to go on break and take 2 weeks off and all this stuff. It frustrates me that the only thing that they're looking and paying attention to is the stock market. If the stock market is up, then they feel like everything is fine. But it's not. Again, when that moratorium is lifted, all those people who stop paying rents and mortgages and everything, it's all going to happen at the same time. You know what the rich or the wealthy people are going to do? They're going to make a lot of money. They're going to snatch their money out because they know it's going to flatline, because they're stringing us along the whole time. It's not right and it's not fair. The government should be for the American people. And what's going on right now does not reflect that they are for the American people. They need to be voted out. But most importantly, Nancy Pelosi needs to stop playing around, stop games, step up and make some type of adjustment in the documentation and the paperwork, and stop just thinking that you just gonna get only just what you want. Because if we allow this to happen, what's gonna happen is this. In the next 3 weeks after the election, if the Democrats win, then guess what? Who's going to be motivated to say, oh, let's get that stimulus out? It won't be the Republicans, because they would have lost. He already said he's going to be a sore loser because he's going to contest everything. So what type of incentive would it be for the Republican Party to push this stimulus? And how can they push it when they still need the Democratic Party? So you know what that means, right? They would generally have to wait until January. If the president changed in January, that the new president is enacted, inducted, or whatever you want to call it, and then the stimulus will happen then. We're talking about all the way until February, you won't see anything. And it's just a shame. I think the stock market should just continue to just go down, because it's going to go back up anyway. So don't be nervous and like, oh no, you're wishing that the stock market goes down. No, trust me. If the stock market went down, then they'll stop playing around. They'll get the stimulus and such out. And when they get the stimulus and such out, then there's going to be money moving. And then the stock market is going to go not just back up, it's going to supersede where it's at right now. Those are the numbers. The numbers don't lie. I'm going to leave you with this, and I tell people all the time. When it comes on the news or the government or whatever says, hey, crime is down 10%. When they say it's down, they talk percentages. Do you know why? They talk percentages because if they just said we have 540 murders 1 year and now we had 535. They can't say 5 less because it doesn't sound so appealing. So they talk percentages. Now, when they talk about something going up, then they talk about numbers. they switch it to cater to whichever the way that sounds good. Sorry about that. A couple of helicopters, but I'm next to like an airport. So again, you heard me vent, frustrate, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, Nancy Pelosi needs to quit, stop playing games, take it down to 500, 400 so these unemployed people can get their money, and stop playing, or she needs to be fired. Thinkers.